Well, I am the first one to make an alliance. I guess they would see that coming, but at the same time, I don't think Narfi will worry too much about it because he knows just as well as I do how useless America is here. But thanks to our empire, we can always retreat to a lot of different places in this world in case we get kicked out of Europe. But I don't really think it will come to that. I guess we'll see. I don't think it will come to that, though. Let's look at France as well, and let's start picking up some treaties with them. So can we get the full alliance? We cannot get the full alliance, unfortunately. But we can pick up some friendship treaties and a non-aggression pact for now. That should help. We're going to go ahead and get a lot of the basic treaties up to and including non-aggression and full transit with Poland. And there's really no point getting Czechoslovakia. There really isn't, but I guess I still will because the world market loves it anyway when you make free trade. Oh, I can't actually get that much with them just yet. I have to go like one at a time. Okay, well, I'll do that over time. I'm going to pick up a lot of these basic treaties up to non-aggression and transit with a lot of the countries I'm going to work on making allies with and that I've gone ahead and sent tanks to. And I'll have to make sure to check their tech eventually to see how they progress, maybe give them some techs they're missing and get them caught up to speed. I'll get as many of these treaties as possible. The world market is delighted with me right now that I'm making everything that I'm making. That's good. That means we'll be pretty good for a war early at the start. Let me tell you, making these free trade agreements, it really, really does help. So I don't really need to go around making any more, but it's best to get as many alliances in as you plan on getting in at the start rather than later on, because, you know, it's going to get harder and harder to make alliances once you start declaring wars and everything starts going down. My first war target on my microcosm task list, by the way, is probably going to be Iraq. I'm going to go after a lot of countries that have research centers so that I don't have to build my own, like Iraq, Iran, Portugal, Spain, and Ireland, but also for other reasons. Ireland to secure the rest of Greater Britannia, Spain and Portugal because, well, they have decent military production between them, and they give me a main base on Europe to use in case France falls, and regardless if France falls, so I can really secure Western Europe into myself rather than allying with them, just take them over. It'll be better in my hands anyway. And Iraq is mostly just because they have a coup d'etat towards the end of the year, and I think I can get like 100% justification towards them, so I figure why not? Which then inspired me to think, well, if I take Iran, or the Russians take Iran, then either way, India will have direct access into Russia, which would mean that India's army that I'm going to have them making might help me fighting Russia directly without me needing to go through like China or needing to worry about Afghanistan or anything like that, and get access into the Caucasus, a much easier to reach region. Speaking of, looks like they do have their land production, so they should start hopefully making some units just like the Philippines did. And I'll always have to look out for any more techs that I might be able to send them. France is offering to sell me military goods. I don't really need that, but it's a good price, so sure, okay, I guess I'll take it. Guess you're just not using as much as I am comparatively. Maybe you're making more than me. Are you making more than me? I'm not actually making very much. Yeah, they are making more than me. They're making almost twice as much as me, but I'm using more than what they're using, so it's going to be interesting. Travis has been distracted, so clearly he has not been catching up on tech. It doesn't even look like the Soviet Union has really been catching up on tech yet. So I'm right now ahead on tech, and you know what? India is probably doing pretty well on tech as is. Speaking of India, a lot of what I've had them building should be finishing. I built it all in one region so I could check it more easily. Let's see if we could find it. The coal is still building, the oil is still building. Yeah, we're moving on a pretty slow speed here. But we can check their current production a little bit better now at the very least. They're going to need a lot of finalized goods as well, so we're going to need to keep an eye on all this stuff. Oh yeah, they also have natural rubber production that I could get them building. Not for my own purposes, just so that they're self-sufficient on rubber. We'll build 1-2 rubber production plants. I'm going to go ahead and build probably another 2 oil and another coal for them as well. And then they're definitely going to need more goods. We'll go ahead and build at least 1 indie goods factory for now. I don't want to make them completely bankrupt just yet, so I'm going to start them out with that. That should be a good amount for now. Malay, I know Malay is not going to manage their own finances very well. I don't really know how Ceylon is going to do. I think they're semi-self-sufficient. They produce a little bit of rubber at the start. They need some oil to produce what they need themselves, as well as some coal. So I'm gonna get them. No, they don't have oil and they don't have coal. Okay, never mind. Well, I might use them to make some rubber later on. We'll see, because they do have rubber. They have some amount of rubber, and not putting all my rubber in Malay would be smart. I plan on maybe taking over Liberia as well, to up my amount of rubber as well. Maybe Haiti. I really don't know about that. That might be a little unnecessary or excessive, but I'll go and prepare for it anyway. Befriend the Dominican Republic so we could just land in the Dominican Republic or something. I don't know. Sweet military bar. Jesus, Soviet Union.
Just the AI. Not the...
Fucking Christ. It's huge.
She already made an alliance with the US.
Yeah, dude.
You think if Germany attacks me, the US will and shall help me? No matter what? No real life?
Yo, the US ain't gonna do fucking shit.
No, I know. Maybe throw some money at you when you're down.
Maybe if I become a complete broke-ass bitch. Speaking of, Italy's money is not doing very well at all. How's it going, Travis?
It's okay, I guess. It's not bad,
okay.
not good.
Your money's a little low.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to focus solely on the war right now.
Have you been sending reinforcements down there? Sure, it looks like he has.
Yeah, I have a majority of my army down here. I'm trying to make a push right now.
Has it been harder or easier than you've expected?
I mean, same issue I had playing before. It's just all that artillery is just yikes. Once I break through the artillery, though, I'll pretty much crush them.
He has no fucking clue about all the engineers the Soviets sent. So Narfi, I asked Travis how he was doing. He has no fucking idea you sent Ethiopia anything. I was like, so how's it going? Is it harder, easier? He's like, oh, it's about the same. You know, I'm having a hard time cracking through the Arty while I'm staring at the region and all I see is like engineers at this point. Like Arty, yeah, Arty, yeah. See with the line of sight, he sent reinforcements down there. You see that? You can see he has a whole horde of his tanks down there and he's building even more supply. He's pacing it out really smart.
Yeah, I saw that supply, but do you have line of sight for them?
No, I only have line of sight with Ethiopia. Look, you could look right now.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, he's gonna push through.
Yeah, he sent his whole tank force down there.
Really?
But they're gonna have, yeah, look at that. You can probably recognize that as basically being his entire tank. Look, there's more infantry and everything coming. The tanks are running into supply issue. Yeah, see the problem with the tanks is fuel and supply. Like they're very hungry for that stuff. So
yeah, you can build some infantry for that.
Yeah, he does have infantry. They just move slower. The tanks got in first naturally. And there's a coup d'etat in Nicaragua. I expected that. I don't really care about that. He is starting to tear away at these dudes. I think he will pull this off eventually, but I don't think he'll understand why it's going to be quite as hard as it is. I wonder what the losses look like. Let me take a peek. He has... he has a positive KDR. That's impressive. He's going 2-1 right now.
Before I intervened, it was he had 0 losses.
Oh, he would have gotten some anyway. You realize, you know what the best part is? With how much engineers you have, and just other things that are old, if you wanted to stop him right now, you just have to send them some, like, more infantry.
Yeah, if I wanted, I could push him out, but...
If you wanted, you could send them more engineers than he has land army at the start of the game. That's the best part. Yeah, he's retreating. He's like, this push failed.
Yeah.
But he did kill a lot of, like, the regular land forces in that push. Although, yeah, his KDR is now even.
I wonder who killed that other unit. His deaths are 45 and the Ethiopian kills are 44.
Maybe he killed it. I love that. It's like you could single-handedly make Ethiopia have like the 3rd or like the 4th, maybe 5th largest land military in the game, and he would just not be able to compete. You're being so nice to him by not doing that. If you look at his nation, you could see he's only really focusing on the war. His money isn't under control. Like he's
yeah, I know. He's
very distracted by it, so he is 100% at the mercy of your army.
He isn't building anything also.
I'm gonna get some units sailing.
So I wonder where the money goes.
Down to Kuwait now, just basically everything I have deployed right now, because what I send down there is probably going to stay down there. Let's just get them sea transporting. I own the seas anyway for now, so we're gonna just get stuff going down there in preparation and just hold them there in Kuwait for our inevitable glorious push into Iraq, which isn't gonna happen for many more months, but I see you're at a even KDR right now, Travis.
Kinda. At least I'm not on the bad side.
Yeah, you're at an even KDR.
That last push got a lot of their engineers.
Yeah, they're engineers. They're... I can't... Narfi.
Yeah, I see.
No, not that. I messaged him. I was like, how's your push going? He's like, oh, that last push got a lot of their engineers. I was like, yeah, their engineers.
You asshole.
He doesn't have a fucking clue. I just find it so funny because Ethiopia doesn't have an engineer design.
He built a lot of supply there, but he's still not pushing through.
The problem is that he's sending the tanks first, and I'm not correcting him at the moment. He needs to send the infantry in first, and then have the tanks come up under them. That's what he needs to do. And then he needs to have the arty bombarding their stacked units on the barracks. And he's not using any of his air either. When we were doing our Cold War, as I'm sure you've been hearing as the playthrough is posting, like I was giving you and Shibi tips when you guys were fighting each other in the same war.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just watching this and just wondering if he's gonna figure it out, like the engineer part.
Aren't you teaching him?
I can teach him. You want me to go teach him?
It's your choice.
Oh, okay. I was gonna wonder how much fun you wanted to have with your engineers before I taught him anything.
Don't say I sent them.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just before I tell him how to kill these units. I just wanted to make sure you've had your fun with them because I find this entertaining.
Yeah, it is, but I also feel a little sad.
Okay, I'll go teach him. All right. So Travis, start using your air more.
I'll do it so everyone can hear.
I can see that. Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. So Travis,
Yeah.
start using your air more.
Okay.
I'm not whispering anymore because I asked Narfi if I should teach you this, and he wants me to teach you how to do this. So start using your air. I have line of sight with Ethiopia. I can see that you are not using air. What you need to stop doing is stop sending your tanks in first. The problem that you're having is supply spread is not that fast, and you're running into a wall of artillery with a bunch of tanks. When you take over a hex, that hex has no supply. So unless you have supply trucks to put underneath the tanks, what you actually want to do is send the infantry up first. Wait until they're within the range of the arty. That way they can actually get in and do some fighting. Then you take your tanks, send in the tanks so that they then cover the infantry because they can take the arty hits a lot better. And while your infantry get in under the cover of the tanks, once they're in range of the arty, that's when you take your arty and start bombarding the enemy hexes that have the most units that you can reach, because arty shots hurt everybody on a single hex at the same time.
Got you. Okay.
I even didn't know that last part.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Maybe I should have just whispered, Travis. Damn. That's what I get for listening to Narfi. But don't send, like, for this kind of an attack on this kind of area, if you're going to send your air in, send it in with the assault, for example.
Okay.
Have everything you can have going all at once, you know? And you want to time it. That's why you want to send the infantry in before the tanks. Look how slow they move. Unless you're moving in on a rail line, which you don't really have access to right there. What you need to do is send the infantry in first and send the tanks in only when the infantry are in range of those arty.
Got you. Okay. I need to get some more infantry then.
And I don't know if you're already doing it, but you could also, like, oppose their, like, you fund their insurgency as well in the influence relations, and that helps you.
Yeah, I'm funding their insurgency now.
He's at a negative KDR now. This poor boy. This poor boy. This will be quite the brutal learning experience for him. Turns out I actually started with a lot of transit with Iraq, naturally, because they were a British colony. So actually landing there and then running over here, that works for me, I guess. And Austria, Germany signed an agreement. You can see all my units sailing through, but I don't think anyone's going to be too focused on where my units are going. So it should be fine. Oh yeah, also, I totally forgot to do this. We're going to start getting some garrisons set up, because we're probably going to want that. I'm just going to go around, order garrisons just anywhere I know that I have even little specks of territory. We're also going to... Oh, we've already turned off garrison control with the minister. Well, that's That's good. And now we're going to go into Northern Europe, maximize garrisons here. Also in Western Europe, we're going to get garrisons so that our island is not just sitting defenseless while I do all the crap that I am doing. We actually are sitting on some money right now. Let's go ahead and buy the rest of the current US technologies we can buy. India has developed their first unit, maybe more than one by now. And we can hand them some more tech. And I'll occasionally just be checking on them to see if I can make them any more. Right now, they're doing pretty good at maintaining everything I have them building. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to have them build... Well, you know what? Fuck it, actually. With the way this is currently set up, let's just have them build a full row of land production, then 4 land production. Because I can't get rid of this airfield and make it into a base. So let's just get them at 4 land production. I'll deal with everything else later. They don't need anything else nearly as much as they'll need land. I'm hoping when I go for Portugal, they'll just grab Portuguese Goa. Because this is actually loyal to them. I'm not going to help them do it. I'm going to hope that they do it. They are finishing some of the stuff economically that I'm having them build. Looks like that coal isn't anywhere near enough, nor is the oil. Makes sense. They probably rely a lot on coal power, and their population is going to need a lot of oil as well. Not to mention rubber is something you can never have enough of in this game. So I guess I'll go ahead. Honestly, I'll tell them to just build all the rubber that they can build right now. They'll probably handle that pretty well. And I'll slowly trickle more things into them. Inflation is starting to raise as time goes by, inevitably. What the fuck is this weird-ass bullshit? Why are you guys not connected? You should be. How dare you not be connected? That's silly. Also, we can get rid of some stuff. We don't need this sea pier, for example. This is a dumb sea pier to have. That's an easy way for someone to get across the channel and invade me. That is a weakness. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with this yet, but... for now, I'll just go ahead and connect this. It'll be a nice little southern seaport that I can utilize. I don't really understand why this is here, so I'm going to go ahead and decon some of these rails. These just don't need to be here at the moment. Maybe later, but not right now. We also don't need this indie complex. There's not any real resources I can see on it. So we'll get rid of that as well. Get rid of any stray complexes and any stray roads and rails I find that we don't need, certainly.
Are you supporting Ethiopia?
Am I supporting Ethiopia?
Yeah.
What, like, giving them shit? No.
Government.
Their government? Yeah, I want it because I wanted to get the fucking line of sight with them.
Yeah, because I see their approval rate and that someone is supporting them.
Oh yeah, the domestic approval rate. Soviets are not currently building any research centers. He's building fortifications, huh? Fortifications at key locations where you could land against him. That's no doubt because of me. He's also building air bases in these locations. Oh, I just saw something explode. He must be moving airplanes that are not ready to move. But if we look at the deaths, yeah, he's lost 3 planes. Silly Soviets, what are you doing? He's building a fuck ton. Oh my god, a ass ton, a metric bajingle ton of oil. I guess I'm not surprised. And indie goods, yeah, I'm not surprised. And mill goods, yeah, I'm not surprised. He's going a lot more all out than I am right now with building stuff. The 3 mill goods factories I was building are done, actually. So we can go ahead and build another 2. I want to build 3. Let's build 3. Build another indie goods factory on top of that. Let's go a little more all out with the indie, actually. Because mill goods uses a lot of indie goods, not to mention just building things uses a lot. So we could use as much as we can get. Build another 2 over here so we get that number up to 50 for right now. Although I will get rid of my mill mids. And I will get rid of my ind mids because they are not very efficient. Oil I was building is done and it's not nearly enough. Although we are getting some oil from our colonies as well. We will want our own production. How is our inflation doing? Not the worst just yet, not the worst. We could focus on upping it more. Really, finished goods and oil are my main problems right now. We could also use a lot more timber. I'll go ahead and I'll find places to just throw some timber, like places where we're building oil already. I'll go ahead and probably build some more oil as well. We don't have a lot of oil we can build in England on land, so I guess I'll just go ahead and build all of that. And then we'll see if we can build any timber on top of any of it. And then we will build timber, because we're going to need a lot of timber just based on this right now. And agriculture as well. We're not going to be making enough of this crap. So if we can fit it in, we'll fit it in. Although there is the priority, and in the priority, agriculture comes last. If I find coal that can go on these spots as well, I would get rid of the agriculture in favor of it. Also, a little bit of oil up in, like, Scotland. Those mountains kind of trick you into thinking it's oil. Got some coal up here. Let's go around building all the land oil we can in the territory that we actually own. We still need to get underwater petroleum extraction, but that is on the list. I will get it. I will get it. Just give me time. I don't think still that even Narfi has been going around buying technology, so as of right now, we are ahead of the game. Germany is a little bit ahead of us on some tech, so we'll go ahead and buy from them as well. I want to get as ahead of everybody as I can. India's money still holding fine, and they still have ass loads of indie goods, so we're not really stressing them there. Their military goods is not enough, so they're probably buying some. I might want to set them up with some more of their own military goods production. Because I don't care about min-maxing them that much, I'm going to go ahead around near somewhere that's secure. Let's say, yeah, towards around the center, around Nagpur, and we're going to build a whole fucking set of military production in India. And we'll give them a little bit more indie goods production as well, because in the long run, they're going to need it with what I'm going to have them doing. If they need money, I will send them money, but out of all my colonies, I feel like they need money the least. Either way, it's not going to hurt my inflation by building all this, and I don't need to worry about theirs too much in the long run. Nigeria's my next most promising colony. Kinda. They lack a lot of basic resources, though, like rubber. I can't fix that. Oil, coal, metal ore. Let's see if we can fix one of those for them today. Well, that coal is pretty limited, huh? Metal ore's pretty limited. Oil's pretty limited. Alright. Let's build them a little hex of oil there. Let's build them a little hex of coal. And let's go find them a little hex of metal ore, a little one. And just get them building that and see how it does. It's very expensive, so they might need money. You know, I'll just be nice and go ahead and grant them some money off the bat. I like double their money. This still might not be enough for how much I have them making, given their size and income level, so I'll grant them some money right now. It's probably better than not. Well, let's see. I haven't looked in a while, but looks like we got another little push going on here. He is sending his infantry in first. The Arty is getting a little too far in front. Careful not to let that Arty get too far in front. They die real quickly without any infantry or tanks to hide behind. They're a very powerful tool, but you must use them very wisely.
It's really hard because when I keep clicking and dragging, I keep accidentally clicking tanks and stuff.
You can make battle groups, for example. You can make a battle, like you can narrow it down to your tanks, make that a battle group, narrow it down to your infantry, make that a battle group, narrow it down to your artillery, make that a battle group, and then actually give them orders separately via the battle groups. Man, you really fucked him up with Ethiopia. You barely did anything.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that he hasn't gone through yet.
I just gave him another tip. He was rushing his arty out in front with the infantry rather than waiting until he sent in the tanks. He's gonna have a lot of garrisons to chew through.
Yeah, he does.
He'll get through this eventually.
Yeah, of course.
Ethiopia can't outproduce him.
Even I can't.
Alright, so I'm really going to surprise a lot of them with some alliances. We're going to get one with Norway. We're going to get one with Denmark. We're going to get one with the Netherlands. We're going to get one with Belgium. This is all going to kind of pop up for them all at once. I guess I could support Luxembourg too. Doesn't really matter. And they're going to see all this crap start popping up at once. Mainly Narfi is going to observe it naturally. And he might have a comment or two. A new fortification. An emplacement. Oh, interesting. I can't see the emplacements here. An air base. He's really preparing. He's going... Oh, this is interesting. He's going around to, like, all his borders. He's finding the choke points, and he's setting up defensive positions to block them off in advance. That's really, really smart there, dear Narfi.
You're keeping busy, I see.
Yeah, trying to.
Actually, I was talking about Res and his alliances, but yeah, you also.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I'm just doing what I do. Don't mind me.
We never do.
That's good. It would be a shame if you minded me.
Rubber's already an opportunity good.
Ah, it always is.
You better be building something.
So
Aren't.
I am, just not there.
Oh.
I have a whole empire and multiple parts of it have rubber. So part of the reason why is probably also not enough rubber, is when you let the AI handle selling things like rubber, where you're not actually making it yourself, the way it does it is, it doesn't know how long, like how much you're getting. It doesn't really understand. So, for example, what it tries to do is, all right, let me sell 1,000. Do we sell that? Yeah? Oh, okay. Tomorrow, let me sell 1,100. Do we sell that? Oh. Oh, okay, we did. 1,200. 1,300. So it's been doing this the whole time. It's stacking up in my stock, but the AI has adjusted to the point where he's now selling 8,000 every time he puts some on the market.
You gotta sell it manually then. Like sell your stock or something.
He is selling well enough. He hasn't fully adjusted yet. But he's almost there, actually, I think. It will always be an opportunity good. Yeah, because it's just that's how much it's been piling up. It's not moving very much right now, though, because he's been putting so much of it on the market. Oh yeah, that's a funny thing I forgot. He'll keep raising the price. Every day he can sell more of it until he can't sell what he's selling, and then he just drops it by a lot, and then the cycle repeats. Oh, the first player declared war.
Very interesting.
I guess you're not gonna let them invade you in 41.
No, I remember that.
Bye-bye, Finland. Let's get line of sight and stuff with them, so maybe we could take a peek at that war as it happens.
Why does the AI go to the upstairs? The north of Finland.
I like how you described that as the upstairs. Why are you going upstairs? AI, didn't I specifically tell you you were not allowed to go upstairs?
Go to the basement.
Get in the basement! So my AI did a funny thing, and he kind of just stacked all the units I was sending over to Iraq right here. He kind of just like, oh, we don't need to be going over where you're sending us. So I'm going to stack everything in this one little barracks next to Alexandria. So I've been getting everything out and actually heading over there. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. And he started deconning some of the old ones and stuff. And even the ones that I have over here, that I have them set to like no initiative and no minister control, no nothing. Some of them are still just kind of moving around on their own, which is quite strange. I also learned I don't really need to sail around like I was doing earlier. I just need to go through here because I have access through Egypt. I have 2 colonies here and I have access through Iraq, so I might as well just run through. And we can take a look over at Finland and see that, of course, with no surprise, he is dominating the region. I believe this was the first thing I did as a Soviet when I 1v1'd him in our USSR versus Germany World War II PvP. So I'm unsurprised he's doing it. He's doing it pretty well, pretty effectively. It's going pretty nice for him. Finland certainly doesn't stand a chance. I'm certainly in no position to help with my meager land force, and of course Italy, neither, with his size of his land force. He being Narfi, has a gigantic land force at the start of the game. It's mostly crap, but he can pretty much swing it around however he wants to. Let's get the friendship treaties also with Ethiopia while we're at it. Might be silly to do, but I'm going to double my maintenance and training spending right now, just because we don't have a lot of buffs to things for military efficiency, so anything I can get for that right now is actually pretty nice. Oh boy, look how much indie goods we're using building everything we're building. We're going to need way more indie goods factories in the long run. Let's go ahead and build another 2. India has finished their full little thing of quote-unquote full of land production up here in the north. So that's nice. They should be pumping out some good units. India also has 2 research centers at the start, so they can research their own non-tradables, and hopefully they will eventually, so they can get better designs and can operate with more than just sheer numbers. They finished the coal and oil I had them building, and it was clearly not enough, so I'm going to go ahead and have them build more coal and oil, because they are going to need it. We can actually fit some on the same hexes here, mainly coal, so we'll probably want to go find more oil spots as well. Maybe have them go a little crazier with the amount they're building, because they should have a pretty decent amount of indie goods still, yeah. And they have still amazing money, so they shouldn't need any help. Malay is already taking out debt, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw some money over at Malay to get them going. I also had Nigeria doing stuff, and looks like they did indeed successfully do stuff. My deployed military is looking pretty high right now, but that's with literally almost all my military deployed and garrisons. Our military is pretty small right now. I'm going to focus on getting all the old war, like interwar 20s units out of it and upgrade it to Bren carriers, panzers, and newer tanks and arty, things of that nature.